What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Cookie DAO today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. All right, here we are on this, the 21st of April. We've got a little bit of time left in the day, don't we? We've probably got, about 10 hours left in the day. Up 9% on the day so far at 10.32 cents. At this area where we found resistance before, it really wouldn't surprise me at all if we came down back here and found support. I mean, inverse to that, it wouldn't surprise me if we continue to break out. You know, if Bitcoin continues on its merry way, I'm sure Cookie and a lot of other altcoins will follow suit. The reason why I'm having a hard time seeing us break out right now is we're seeing a higher high here in the 4-hour time frame, and we're not really getting that much volume, right? We're breaking out of this range here. We're breaking out right now. At least it looks like we're breaking out right now, but there's no volume to follow through. And that's fine. You know, we're on Bybit. Let's see. What about Coinbase? What do we got there? Yeah, no volume. Yeah, no, you know. I don't know if this is it right now. I do think that we are soon to break out, but Cookie's a little bit volatile, so it wouldn't be crazy at all if we came back down. We found support at like a higher low somewhere. Maybe it's a slightly lower low than this. Maybe it's a slightly higher low than this, but something that's a little bit, you know, probably. Let's actually see if we can gauge what would be a good one right here from a high to a low. Hold on. Yeah, something maybe around 9.6 cents, just below there. I could see that happening. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Of course, we could get that volume to come in. You know, maybe the next candle comes in and we start moving up. If volume comes in, I have no problem with calling for the price to go higher, right? It's just right now with this look, I can't give it confidently that I think we're going to move up higher. Hey, there you go. Little pop right there on the last hour. I don't know. Bearish divergence showing itself. We do have 15 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame. I suppose it would have been better to make this video in about an hour because then we would have that hourly close and we'd be closer to the 4-hour close as well. But at this moment, I'm going to stick with it. I think that we do find a little turbulence here. I think we are getting ready to break out. It's just not right now. Maybe we come down and then tomorrow we try moving up or something like that. Very, very soon, one way or another, if I'm wrong about the downside or not, regardless of what happens in the very short term, we're moving up, okay, from a high, all-time high to this relative low here at about 7 cents. 84 cents to 7 cents. That's a massive fib range, you guys, to see a standard retracement just to the golden ratio. And I mean, I think that's inevitably where we're going to go. That right there is a 200% move. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw something like this by the end of the month, or at least, you know, sometime in May, very, very early May. The next target before we even start thinking about the golden ratio, though, is in line with this 382. I would say something at the 382, a little bit below could be where we stop, but I'm thinking here or a little bit above could be where we go. So this is my end of April target, really, probably something around let's say 20 cents or more, something in that area there. It wouldn't surprise me at all if we found resistance right here. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we found resistance up at the 0.5, something between 18 cents and 24 cents. I'm sticking with that 20-cent area. That's what I think we're going over the next week or so, which is a nice pump from here. That's about a 100% pump, so that's not a bad thing at all. Looking at the RSI, I do like the RSI on the daily time frame. Rejecting the 50, finding support on the 40. This is a bullish setup, right? Normally when you reject off the 50, that's not a good thing, but then you connect that with bouncing off the 40, and that actually is a good thing, especially with the reaction you have taking you above the 50, taking you to the highest readings we've seen actually in a while, in months, right, as far as daily RSI readings go. The only thing that's missing, the only missing piece to me is that we're breaking out and we don't have a lot of volume. So if we can get some volume to follow through by the end of this day, I think that'd be really nice to see. And even if we don't, it's not a big deal, right? It's going to come. We're going to move up. That's the expectation. That's the prediction. That's what we're going for, okay? If we're looking at this through a different measure on this fib, I'm just curious to see. Out of the golden ratio back above it, yeah. Next target area would be something around 13 to 21.5 cents. Yeah, so probably the upper limit of that, I would think. Maybe we do stop a little bit below 20 cents. I don't know, but I would think that we do stop somewhere up in there. Inevitably, whenever we do go higher, whenever we do see a new high, the targets that we'd be expecting, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think that we're going to stop at the minimum targets from here, but we could. Right, I shouldn't say that. I actually do think we're going to stop at these minimum targets, to be completely fair. That's actually exactly where I think. For some reason, I thought that said 77 cents, but no, I do think we stop at about $1.77 to $2.32. That is the minimum target range, but to be fair, that movement there from a low to a high at the minimum, that's that's about a 25x overall, right? That's a pretty big move. From the low to the high last time, we saw a 42x, 42.4x. I'm not saying we can't see more growth. We can, right? Maybe we see a 32x, but if we were to see anything beyond these minimum targets, my bad. These minimum targets are the expected targets, actually, $1.77 to 232. We actually even have from a high to a low here. The 1272, the 1414 line up there. The 1618 does line up all the way here with the 2272, but the thing is, at that rate, you're seeing something on the lines of like a 50x, 60x, maybe even a 70x, and it can happen. You know, it could definitely happen. I'm not selling any of my cookie DAO. I'm waiting until the end of the cycle because it can happen. And I do inevitably expect these prices to hit, but I think we're going to see higher prices by the end of the cycle, you know, $10 and beyond. We're only at 10 cents now, so we've got, you know, definitely 100x potential in this thing. So why would I trade it at lower prices? But I don't know if you stop here at $1.77 to $2.32, or if you go all the way up to $4. But my expectation would be that you probably do stop in this range, $1.77 to 232. From the current price, not from the low, that's about a 16x, 17x almost, to a 22, 23x almost. So that's decent gains, and likely will happen in a very, very short amount of time. If we move at the pace that we moved last time, that'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. 7 weeks from now puts us in June, you guys, and I think that it will be by the end of June that we see this price resolve itself to the upside here. If we're looking at this from a relative low here to a relative high, you found support right at your golden ratio zone, showing perfect support, right? If we take the high to low here, you also found support. You found a little bit of resistance in the golden ratio, but found support in the golden ratio zone. You closed a little bit below it, to be fair, but then closed right back above it the next week. So I would call this support for sure. You're definitely showing significance on that golden zone. Look at that golden ratio here, the 1618 resistance. So with that in mind, I wouldn't throw out the possibility of seeing prices above $3 or even above $4 out the window completely, right? But I do like this. Again, I think it was $1.77, but $1.65, 234, whatever. $1.77, 232, yeah, something in between both of these fibs. They line up very well. These deeper fibs line up well as well, and it wouldn't surprise me based on our performance how we've seen the 1618 come into play. The only thing that would surprise me is the fact that, you know, that overall would be a 56x, and generally speaking, as the market cap grows, you don't see prices move in a larger format, but sometimes you do. If they get enough hype, maybe this thing is underhyped, it doesn't have enough recognition or the recognition it deserves, and we're going to slingshot and propel to those areas. I mean, you're being exciting today. You're being a little bit exciting today. You have a $10 million level of volume in a 24-hour period and a $46 million market cap. That's really good volume, and that is nice to see. You know, thinking about what I said in the beginning of the video, how we don't have enough volume to break out, I gotta admit that's actually good volume. Maybe it's just not good volume. It doesn't look like it's good volume because it's like relatively speaking it's low volume, but relatively speaking we've had high volume even in this boring time. So maybe we don't need more volume to come in. Maybe that whole theory was wrong. Still, I would like to see more volume come in as we're moving higher. That's always a good thing, right? If this is the amount of volume we're seeing as we're moving higher, that's fine. But as you move higher, let that volume increase, let it grow, because that's what we'll need, right? You can't stay at this level forever. That would not be a good look. So one way or another, as we're moving higher, we will need to see more volume. But in all fairness, looking at this now, maybe this is the real deal. Maybe we don't move back, because, like, thinking about it, that's like 25% volume, 20% volume right there on a move that's breaking out today. I think that is substantial, actually. That's fine. So maybe we don't move lower. Don't hold your breath over that. Definitely not financial advice, not a financial advisor. If you're trying to get into Cookie DAO, I think it's a great time to buy. I mean, from the relative high to low, we're still well below the 236. Anytime you're below the 236, if you have suspicions to believe that we're moving up and we're going to see prices beyond that high, this is literally the ideal area to buy. So I think it's good to buy as long as we're below about 13 cents there. Until then, you know, I'll be looking to buy some more at various prices, but I'm just holding on to what I got for now, and I got nothing else to say. So hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. 4-hour RSI is looking killer. It's looking great. 1-hour RSI also looks great. A little bit of bearish divergence in that helped with the idea that we do go down to about like 9.6 cents. Don't be scared. Don't be sad if we do. It's fine if we do. But inevitably we're very poised to the upside, right? We've got very, very strong suspicions to believe that we're going to see new all-time highs by the end of June here. So I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.